Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sahib Sehgal from This Too, and today we'll be talking about the basic money skills I think all of you should know. Let's get started. Well, to begin with, the number one on my list is not saving. Yeah, you heard me right. I said not saving money, and that is a good money skill to have. Well, before you rant it out in the comments below, let me explain myself. Let's say you have a 100 rupee note, okay? You plan to save it up for a year. And the inflation for the year is somewhere around 4 to 6%. Now, what would happen is the value of your money, the value of your 100 rupees, would be reduced by 4 to 6% in that year. Well, I do not mean to say that after a year, when you look at that 100 rupee note, that would say 94 or 96 rupees. But the amount of things that you are able to buy with the same 100 rupee right now, you surely won't be able to buy that many things. And that's a fact. You all must have heard a penny saved is a penny earned. Well, to be very honest, that's pretty bullshit. It doesn't work like that. A penny saved is a penny lost. And I just showed you that. So, if not saving, what do you do? What do you do with the money? Well, invest it. That's how I do it. I do not save my money. I just have enough, to cover up for my month or 2 months, maybe 6 months of expenses. That's enough if something goes down south. Or I have enough if I need to buy something and I require cash, because that's how I can get, cash discounts. That's the enough amount of money that you should be keeping with yourself. And the rest, invest it. I have done that. I have invested in a lot of things. I have, put my money aside in different asset classes. But I do not have I do not have cash at hand. And that's how you should do it too. And that is what would help you creating wealth. And yeah, talking about wealth, that's the second money skill, creating wealth. But to understand how to create wealth, you all must know what wealth is, right? And if I were to explain it to you by a formula, let's say wealth is your savings minus your liabilities, and then you add your assets to it. That's what wealth is basically. It's basically the amount of time you could just go without working. If you can do that, well, you're wealthy. And how to, even create wealth, how to even start with it? Well, I'll just give you how to start with it in this video, and the rest, that is for the future videos. Well, to start with it, just keep some money aside every month. Do that consistently over the years, and that's how you create wealth. Now, coming to the third money skill, the third one, and that's pretty important. It's about debt. But do you know what debt is? Well, debt is basically the borrowed money that you use to buy something or to invest into something. But the catch here is you got to pay interest on that. Yeah, you got to pay interest on that. And how do you get away with it? Is basically earning more profit than you pay interest on it. That's the basics. So the skill is how to, get in and out of debt. You got to know a lot about it. Well, let's say for example, there's a big rock and you got to push it, but you just can't because you're not strong enough. So what do? You know the seesaw, right? So you just use the same mechanism, put one end beneath the rock and the other one, you push it down. But that still requires some kind of force, right? But let's imagine if then the other end is longer, and the more longer it gets, it will just require the slightest of the push. That is what leverage is, and that is how debt work. So yeah, it's good to borrow money, but not always. There are various kinds of debt, let's say good debt, bad debt, but yeah, that's for the very next video, not for this one. So yeah, now coming to the fourth skill, yeah, that's compounding. The good old compounding, you all must have heard about it, but how does it work? Well, there's a very interesting story. I'm sure a lot of you must have heard versions of it. It's a story of a king and a joker, and that also involves a chessboard. Well, most of you would have an idea where I'm getting at it, but for the rest of the viewers, let me explain. So there was a time long back when a joker went to the king. He made him laugh, and the king said that, well, I was pleased. So ask what you want. Well, the Joker just said that you bring a chessboard, and on the very first block, you put, let's say, 2 sacks of gold, right? 2 sacks that's filled with gold, and on the next one, you double it. So 2, 4, 8, and so on. And you know what ended up happening? Well, the Joker, he got 2 to the power 63 of that 2 sacks filled with gold, and the king, well, he had nothing left. And that is how compounding works. Einstein even said that this is the eighth wonder of the world, and the ones who understands it would earn it, and the ones who don't, well, those idiots would end up paying it. So yeah, compounding is really important. And how do you know earn compounding? I mean, compound interest basically. Well, as I said before in the video and in the previous one as well, you just keep some money aside every month to let it grow. Well, put it up in stocks. I'll also link down some of the channels on YouTube that I follow to get a good insight on where to invest, how to invest, and what kind of returns can we expect, right? But yeah, you need to do your due diligence, your own research before doing that. But I would suggest that stocks or cryptocurrency would be the easiest thing to get into, because other asset classes like real estate, that would require a lot of money, and that all involves a bigger risk because a bigger sum of money is involved. But stocks and crypto, you could just start with as little as, let's say, $1,000. So yeah, you can begin with that, and that is how you would earn compounding. And do you know why it is important to start early? Because as early as you would start, the more amount of money you would end up having. I mean, there was a lot of reels on Instagram going about this, that two guys, they invested, let's say, 100, 200 rupees a month, 1,000 rupees a month. One started it in his 20s, the other one started investing more amount in his 30s. But guess what? The one who started investing less amount in his 20s ended up having more money because he started early. So, the curve, the graph goes like this. For the couple of years, you won't even know that something is happening. But after that, it would just blow up exponentially. And that is why you should start early. Well, coming to the last skill, and probably this skill should have been the first one. But then I thought that, let's start with something easier and then move on to, the most complicated things. And that is tracking and analyzing your money. That sounds simple, but to be very honest, it isn't. It took me a long while to figure out a couple of things, and I have been fine-tuning this for myself. So the most important thing and this first step of about money or anything, it's knowing where it goes, tracking it. And the second step is also knowing what it's getting back for you. Well, for example, I mean, I have, let's say, 100 rupees and I know where it's going. I mean, I know my expenses, I know my investments, and then I also know what it's getting back to me. And that is very, very important. Knowing where money is going, because if anything is going wrong and you don't even know about it, you can't make it right. That's very obvious, right? And to track my money, I use Excel sheets that I have prepared for myself. I have been, adding different sorts of sheet or different sorts of formulas to it to make it easier for myself to read. And I operate it all on my phone. Let's say if I am purchasing a packet of chips, that's merely 10 rupees, but still I'll make an entry of it in my accounts. And that would just tell me that how much I have spent, on groceries, on electricity, on everything in a month. And that, gets very easier for me to understand where my money is going. So tracking and analyzing, it's the best thing, and I think all of you should start with it. I'll also be sharing how I do it myself in depth in the future videos, but for now, that would be it. And before we go, just a quick question. What do you become when you study about finance? Well, for that, check out the video description and also the title for the video. The answer is in it, but yeah, do let me know your views in the comments below. That would be pretty much it. And yeah, do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also do not forget to press the bell icon So that was pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.